everybody, it's John D from JDTV, and we're back here at our house follow on day 8. We finally got the area stoned in here up to the top of footer. As you remember, we did talk about we had to put subwalls in to bring our footers up to a proper height because of the grade of the land. We got that done. We got all filled in here on the inside and the outside to bring the grade up right now, just at least to the top of the footer. And then we're going to get ready to set our next day here. We're going to start setting panels and pour the foundation. Now, the grade's not brought all the way up to where it's going to be. It's actually going to come up higher than it is, but for now we just stopped at footer height so that they can get the walls put in place before we backfill against the walls. Once that was all filled in, we also had to fill in this area here. If you remember, we had almost 5-foot walls down at that end, so we had to bring the dirt up to within 4 inches of the top of the footer, and then we put 4 inches of stone on this whole area, this is the basement slab area. A couple things I want to show you in here in the basement. First off, we have a 3-piece roof in here, so we have piping put in here that you can have a toilet, a vanity, and a shower put in place. They have to put this in under the stone beforehand before you get the stone coverage in. You can see there's a little device on here. This is an air pressure test that we have to show the inspector to show that all these drain lines below the stone can hold air within them and hold air pressure, meaning all the joints are sealed. Otherwise, there's not really a way to check that. There's no visible leaks or anything. You can see we brought our concrete piers up here. If you can see it there under the stone, I showed you that we actually poured these in 2 stages. And these piers are going to be under the columns that support the steel beams. And then over here, we're going to have our wall, so you can see these rebar stickers that we talked about. That area of the footer over there has a keyway. So these walls are going to wrap around here, and on the back we actually have a walkout. So if you take a look, you can see that it looks like a little 4-inch high wall there. This area is actually going to be framed with stick lumber, and they're going to have a door to exit out the back. You might notice some blue foam there. The reason we put that blue foam around the edge of the footer there, it's for frost protection. And those areas where the ground's not filled up and the top of the footer is not below 36 inches, we have to protect from frost so that the cold does not radiate into the basement. So they put that in before they backfill in there. It goes down 2 feet and it's 2 inches thick, and that way it gets us below grade and we don't have to worry about the basement floor feeling like it's 30 degrees in the wintertime. I also wanted to show you the sump crock. We talked about that. We put a footer drain around the outside of the home, and then we have the pipes come in through the footer, which we looked at in our last video, and they tie into this sump crock over here. So if you would get any rain water coming in around the foundation and water would puddle up outside, it would actually come through a pipe into the footer and into this sump crock. And then we put a pump in here to pump that water out. So we want to keep all the water away from the outside of your foundation. Additionally, we also put a pipe in here under the floor, you can see, and it has perforations that face down to the ground. And what that pipe does is that helps trap any water that comes through here and also any radon gas. This is actually a special sump pump that has a rubber seal. And in addition to the pipe that comes out to pump the water out, we have another pipe that is part of the passive radon system in the house. So that pipe comes through the floor here, out of this pit, and it goes all the way up through the roof. So it passively releases radon from stacking effect, which is like hot air outside, cold air inside, and hot air rises, so it starts to just vacuum the radon out. But if down the road, after you want to wait about 6 months until you live into your house to get your radon checked and to see if you live in a pocket of radon, if you would in our homes, we actually put a receptacle up in the attic that you can just cut a fan in and plug it right in, and it'll exhaust all the radon out of the house. And as we get further along the build, we'll be sure to show that to you. So we're excited here. Our next step is to get these walls going finally. We had all this extra prep work. As I said before, this is kind of a special situation being on this grade, but you can kind of see how it's leveling out now, and I think it's going to be great. So when we come back with our next video, we're going to watch the guys get the wall panels set up. I'm going to show you how those wall panels are assembled, how they hold concrete inside without just blowing apart with the weight of the concrete. And then we'll actually see, once the walls are poured, you can see how this house is going to take shape. Thanks for tuning in today, and I hope you have a great day.